In our world, people, biological females, do not get pregnant. The entire process of conception, gestation, and delivery, including breastfeeding, is through in vitro fertilization. More than two people can come together to pass on genes to have an offspring and to form a family. Sex or gender of people coming together does not play any meaningful role. In passing down the genes, biological parents can selectively strengthen or weaken certain genetic traits. However, the biological sex of the baby cannot be determined by anyone's will. Today, you will witness the hearing of a case for termination of contract for conjoint offspring generation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Agent X from the Department of Human Offspring Regulation. We're going to be evaluating your case requesting termination of contract for conjoint offspring generation, case number 2BX31-14083. Do I have everyone's consent to record this conversation?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Let's start with some basic information. Can each of you give me a brief introduction of yourself, what you do for a living, etc.?
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you, Agent X. I'm Jiaqi. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to making progress with you in this room. To begin with my story, I have been working as the head of business development at Tesla for 4 years now. My background is in strategic systems integration in multidisciplinary team development, and I've worked mostly in high-tech industries to build strong business competencies.
Hi, my name's Kim, and I just graduated from a literature program in Boston. I'm now working as a science fiction writer for a theater in 32nd City, Chicago. I was hoping to be responsible for taking care of this household, with the baby potentially coming in. I'll also look after the government allowance that comes with it, and I'll be in charge of all the administrative responsibilities related to the house.
Hi, I'm Kieran. I am HFDMS. If you want to know, it's Human Fetus Data Monitoring Scientist, working with the United States Department of Human Incubation Technology for the past 8 years.
Thank you. Now let's get into learning about your relationship. Tell me about what the relationship among the three of you looks like, how it started, and how all of you decided to come together as a family.
I met Jiaqi and Kim through Kinder when they were looking for someone to raise a child with. They seemed like a well-balanced couple, and I was admittedly looking for people who knew each other inside and out but were not necessarily intimate. I knew I always wanted a child, and they felt like great people to start a family with.
Yes, just to go back a little. Kim and I had been roommates for over 8 years and are very close as a result. Last year, we decided that two of us were running a healthy household, and it was time to bring a newborn and share responsibilities together. But, as you can imagine, it's not very sustainable for only two people to do this together, and that's when we got on Kinder.
Yeah, pretty much. We've been thinking about having a baby in our house for a while, and it's almost like our house needs that right now.
Okay, so it sounds like the relationship among the three of you evolved from platonic to quite intimate. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. I've seen on the request form that Kieran is applying for termination of offspring generation and that you have an offspring 28 weeks into gestation. Before discussing the details regarding termination, I need to know what happened since your initial agreement and the application for conception of the offspring.
A year ago, the three of us submitted an application to have access to the gestation technology and it got approved by the government after a couple months. All three of us passed on our genes, amplifying certain traits we wanted to pass on to our baby. It was after ample consideration and discussion that we have come to a consensus about passing on the best genes to our offspring. These decisions were all reflected in the application we sent to the government.
It's ridiculous, because we're supposed to be in this together. We were doing so well with coming together as a family. We had the baby shower. We have the wedding on the way, which was supposed to be on the day of our child's delivery. We have already committed to permanently conjoining our living modules for an extended space. But oh well, Kieran's not in it anymore, apparently. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Yes. I am the one who applied for the termination of Offspring generation. There are plenty of reasons why I feel like I cannot accommodate for something like this in my life anymore, you know? My professional life has definitely had an effect. As an HFDMS, I'm regularly exposed to the data on human embryos and fetuses and how it's being applied in the real world today. Honestly, I don't think I want to participate in this scheme as a user. Well, as a parent, I have such mechanical responses to human fetus on screens I see all the time. I'm afraid I won't be able to see ours as any different from other human fetuses I study. All the work that we put together to build a kinship felt futile. Feeling like this, okay, I can't do this anymore.
So what do you two think about this?
We're trying to figure things out. I still want the baby. I know Jachi does too. The baby is already 6 months into development, and we check the fetal incubation data every day. I feel as though we're really hitting that moment of feeling the connection with the baby. Like, I feel that bond. I want to communicate with it. I want to spend time with it. I hate that I feel so connected to the baby and ready to be a parent, while Kieran is losing the whole basis of how we have come together as a family.
Well, none of us expect this to happen. I can try to understand Kieran's perspective, but it is quite difficult to decipher what to do at this point. Sure, we can figure out the legal implications through Home Force and with the help of our lawyers, if this is what Kieran really wants. But I can't really tell if termination would be the best option.
Well, I do feel bad about this on the one hand, and considering the three of us had a great thing going on. I know a lot of people and on average choose to have 4 or 5 contributors for babies to have more diverse genes, but I like what we have. But even so, we need to stop calling this a baby. This is a fetus, and that's just what it is right now. And generally, some with my expertise in the gestation technology, I would be the one to learn the best techniques in building that early bond with this fetus. I was confident I would be the first to feel connected, being the one who spends so much time with the whole gestation process. But guess what? Ironically, the proximity to the technology is making me more and more cynical, to the point where I really can't. Sorry, excuse me. I have to respond to this text.
Kieran, could you explain your reason for wanting termination among other viable options?
I now feel like I am merely a gene contributor to one of the many technology-bred humans to be. And the fetus really isn't like us humans until it is delivered upon completion of gestation. I feel less remorse about termination when the fetus isn't yet a human than about neglecting care after contributing to the existence of the child. And I should have a choice over a matter that will have such a large impact on my life and responsibilities.
And I believe you two think differently about this. What are your thoughts?
I'm torn. The fetus is a fetus to Kieran's point, but it is also bound to be human, which makes it not unreasonable to treat it as human here. And I still want a child that has parts of me, genetically, you know? I want it to be my baby. Perhaps letting Kieran go and finding a new partner through Kinder or an agency might be a better option.
Well, I'm absolutely against termination. It's our child, delivered or not. I still hope that Kieran thinks again and stays with us. But if not, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep the baby, whether or not Kieran is in the picture. I really hope your office doesn't take Kieran's side to let the termination be approved.
Okay, thanks for all the information and sharing your thoughts. Our department system will assess the case based on both the paper and the conversation that happened in this room. In the meantime, the three of you have 15 days to reconsider, communicate, and negotiate to come to a consensus about whether or not to go through the termination. Please take time and take into careful consideration all important aspects in your life that will be affected by this decision. Think wisely. We'll meet again in 15 days, 2 p.m., same room. Thank you all for your time. See you then.